Good morning, students. It's me, Miss Sania, your Pakistan Studies teacher, and today we are starting with a new unit. As you all know, that we have completed major industries of Pakistan, but there is one thing which is left, so that we should cover it in today's lesson. And the name of that remaining thing is, as you can see over here, I am zooming the screen for you so that you can see it very clearly. That is economic disparity. This was the only SLO which was left, which we are going to cover in today's class. So let's get started. Now there are two SLOs which are given under this heading. Number one, 6.1.5 says that evaluate reasons for economic disparity among different regions of Pakistan and the problems caused by it. As I always say that, kindly read the question thrice, try to understand the meaning, what exactly it's asked, and then we'll move forward. First of all, they're asking about that you have to tell the reasons of economic disparity, that why economic disparity is present over there among different regions of Pakistan, and then you have to highlight the problems of that specific cause. First of all, you'll tell the reasons and then you'll highlight problems cause of economic disparity. Now in SLO 6.1.6, we will discuss about suggest remedies to overcome the economic disparity in Pakistan. What will be the remedies so that how can you overcome these economic disparities in Pakistan? So we will discuss about the solutions in the next SLO. Now let's move forward. As I always mention, you kindly try to break the terminology so that you can analyze the meaning which has been asked over there. The first thing is disparity usually refers to a difference that is unfair. Disparity tells about the difference that is unequal, that is unfair, the distribution is not equally divided among two or more than two people. Economic disparities exist among ethnic groups. Economic disparity in majority cases it exists among ethnic groups. There is a disparity between what men and women earn in the same job. Now, as you can see the picture which is on the rider side, you can see that where the woman is sitting on that side, the desk is facing, the desk is facing the earth. But when we talk about the men's side, then it is, you can see that it is going upwards and the side of the woman it's going downwards. So this same similar case goes in the quotation which is written over here. It is an illustration of that thing which is written over there. What is the illustration? Women are paid lesser amount as compared to men. So this is known as economic disparity. It is one of the example which I have portrayed over here. This noun derives from Latin disper, unequal. This is basically a Latin word which is derived from a Latin word which means unequal. The opposite of disparity is parity. Opposite of disparity is parity. Parity means that you're equally dividing things among different people. The condition of being equal or the same means parity, and the opposite is disparity, which means unequal. Now let's move forward. But before moving forward, let me highlight you one more thing which you can see over here in this picture as well. The man who is over here, he's having so many points down. But when we talk about women, so women is having lesser coins as compared to men. This is also an illustration which is showing economic disparity. Kindly put your notebooks with you so that you can note all of the important points which I'm telling you, which will really help you in your paper. Now, when I talk about income inequality, then income inequality, point number one, states that income inequality is the gap between rich and poor. Income inequality generally tells you about the relationship or the gap between poor and rich people, because obviously the poor people will be given lesser amount as compared to the rich people. For example, is the difference in the distribution of economic assets, wealth. Wealth means money, and income within or between populations or individuals. It is the state of an economy in which the shares of total income earned by the rich and the poor are highly unequal. Now, let me give you an example to clear your concept over here. For example, if two people are working in an industrial firm, if there is a poor person who is uneducated, who is not even as much skilled as compared to the person who was richer, he is educated and he's skilled as well. So the person who is poor and unskilled, he is less skilled, so he will be given around 20,000 bucks. But when we talk about that person who is rich and he's educated as well, so he will be given around like more as compared, for example, you can say that 50,000 bucks or 60,000 bucks. All right, so this is basically the difference between poor and rich class, which is also the difference of poor and rich class is also told by Karl Marx. Karl Marx is a sociologist and he has already highlighted the difference in detail. Now when we talk about point number 2, it states that economic inequality varies between societies, historical periods, economic structures, in a system, for example, capitalism and socialism, ongoing and past wars, and between individuals' abilities to create wealth. Now, when we talk about point number 2, here there are two terminologies which are used over here: capitalism or socialism. I was talking about socialism. Socialism term was introduced by Karl Marx, which I've already explained you. Capitalism says that there is only one leader, you have to follow the leader, you are dominating over there, and then you have to follow each and everything which is over there. Capitalism basically is based on money. The more money you will invest onto your business, the more you can be superior on different people. Capitalism states that thing. Capitalism states about independency. Capitalism doesn't state about dependency. Now, when we talk about economic inequality, it varies between societies. Obviously, when we talk about historical perspective or the past areas or the wars which have been occurred in previously, so they all were on the basis of money. It was on the basis of wealth. Once when somebody conquered the land, and automatically when the land and people were distributed, so there is one dominating leader, you have to follow the leader, and there is a difference between rich and poor side. Now, when I talk about the differences, this is not something new which you are studying, but yes, if we talk about the past wars, which you can see, so these differences are actually started from the previous past. All right, you can say that this difference of class was always present in the history. Now, the third point: economic policy makers can face a trade-off between promoting equity and economic growth. Sorry. Now, when we talk about trade-off actually is that thing. Economic policy. Economic policy means the makers who make economic policies, they can face a great trade-off in promoting equity and economic growth. If they say that you should treat each and every person equally, then automatically their salaries will also be deducted. So there is, you can say that there are a lot of conspiracies, there are a lot of diplomacies due to this thing. It can never be equal in any era. All right. As income shares become more equal, the incentives for individuals for accumulate skills, work hard, and take risks might become smaller, thus shrinking the size of the economy. When we say that we have to promote everyone on equal state, or if we say that we have to be right on everyone's side, and we should accept every condition, we should support everyone, so automatically those people who are already struggling into their lives to achieve a higher position, and those people who are struggling less, if they will be treated equally, then there would be no difference. And where there will be no difference, so you have to divide your amount with other people as well. If you were paid 50,000 bucks before, then after being equally distributed among individuals, then you will be paid lesser amount as compared to which we were paid previously. All right. Now, the fourth point: there are three types of social classes in our society: lower class, middle class, and upper class. Upper class means the richer people, the bureaucrats. All right. Middle class means people who are people who are earning to serve their families, to serve their necessities. Luxurious life is lesser in this case, but in upper class, it is completely for luxurious living. But when we talk about lower class completely talks about basic necessities. You have to fulfill your necessities. Due to this reason, you have to work on daily wage so that you can come, you can earn, and you can look after your family members. When we talk about lower class, so they're having huge families as compared to middle class and upper class. So they have to serve each and every person. Now the picture which is on the righter side, you can see this picture. This picture, you can see that the government's hand and the poor class. So the poor class is always suffering at the end because of the dominant powers over there. But yes, there is one more thing. Those people who belong from Islamic religion, so according to Islam, it is stated over there that you have to treat each and every person equally. And this is something which we are practicing since from years, and there are multiple examples which are present in the history as well in context of Islam. All right.